If you're a creative entrepreneur who wants to make more money with your art or your service, stay tuned because you're going to want to make sure that you are avoiding this top mistake that I see so many creatives make. I'm Jennifer Joy, and I help creative entrepreneurs create a prosperity mindset and a marketing message so that they can have a hugely profitable business. And one of the ways that I do this is through my free business resources that are found in the Insider Inbox. So today's resource we are focusing on is the top 10 strategies and mindset shifts checklist. You're going to see me referring to it. I've got some notes on it that you can find again and download in the resource center. And I'm going to show you how to best use this list. And we're going to go through a couple of these shifts that you're going to want to make more profit in your business. So let's start with that big mistake. The probably biggest mistake that I see my clients using or doing and most creative entrepreneurs is that they are posting their work, whether it's, again, a service or an actual piece of art. They are using their marketing strategy like an art gallery. They've got an art gallery mentality. And what that means is that they're posting their work or putting out flyers, putting it online, and it is showing their work and maybe the title of their work or the title of their photography package or whatever, and the price. And that's it. So they are imagining someone is walking through life, their prospects are walking through life as if they're walking through an art gallery, just looking for the coolest art to buy and then finding something and falling in love with it and paying the big bucks for it. Well, guess what? Most people aren't walking around the world like it's an art gallery or scrolling through Instagram like it's an art gallery. So it's your job to ditch that art gallery mentality because it's not going to get you very far. It might get you a few sales here and there randomly, but it is not going to lead to a big bottom line. So what you want to do is make these mindset shifts and use these 10 strategies that I describe in the downloader in the Insider Inbox. Now, today, as I mentioned, I'm going to go through a few of them and give you a little extra in-depth training on them. The rest, you can download it and get the sheet. And how I recommend you use this resource is that, again, you download it and pick one of these 10 things, one item, and focus on it for 3 to 6 weeks minimal. Now, truth is, you could take one and probably focus on it for a year. But you don't need to do that. You might want to shift your focus a little bit. So 3 to 6 weeks spent on each one, and then move on to the next one. And if you're wondering where to start, pick the one that speaks to you. They're not in order. Just pick the one that speaks to you right now, that isn't too challenging. Don't pick the hardest one. Pick something that's just a little bit of a stretch and start there. So let's dive in. I want to focus on 3 of the items, 3 of the strategies on this checklist. And again, it also involves a mindset shift. So let me read the first one. The first one that I'm going to review today is that I understand that it is important to use both promotional and sales marketing and relationship building conversations with my prospects. So that means that instead of treating your prospects like they're in the art gallery and just posting for sale posts all the time, you want to also post and create relationships with people. It's very important to create that give and take relationship so that your prospects can get to know you, like you, and trust you. And you might be wondering how you do that with the painting at the art gallery. You know, there's room for the little card about you and the art, right? And then, of course, inviting them to check you out online where you can tell them a little bit more about you and they can create that relationship with you. That's one of the reasons social media is so powerful, is that now we can create relationships with our prospects rather than treating it like the art gallery. So you want to do relationship building posts also. No matter where you are in your marketing, do that a majority of the time and then sprinkle in the sales and promotional posts so that they're not being inundated with it. Number 2, is that I understand that I need to use stronger promotional language and calls to action when marketing my business and crafting follow-up messages. So I'm going to focus in on the call to action portion of this. And most of you are probably familiar with this from being on social media. But a call to action, if we're creating a relationship with a prospect who might buy our work at some point, we want them to engage with us because a relationship is about give and take. It's not just, let me show you my thing for sale. Can you imagine talking to a friend who every day is like, oh, guess what I'm selling today? Guess what I'm selling today? Guess what I'm selling today? Hey, did you see what I'm selling today? Not a good way to create that relationship. So a call to action sometimes is going to be, hey, click here to see what I'm selling. And sometimes it's going to be relationship building. And again, you might be familiar with many of these. So it might be leave a comment, click here, like, follow, share. Those are some very general ones. And again, I want you to not only do the like, if you like my painting, right? I want you to think about how you can cultivate that relationship. So it might be, I walked into my studio today and it was so cluttered that I couldn't think. I'd planned to work today and I couldn't think with all the clutter, so I took the day to clear it out. Have any of you had that experience where you walk into a room and you're going to do some work, but you find you just need to clear the clutter? Comment below and let me know if you've had that experience, right? So that's not about buy my work, buy my work, buy my work. That's about, you know what? We're sharing this common experience of clutter and maybe putting something off until the clutter is cleared. So think about how you can use that to build a relationship, right? And they might not have the art studio like you have because they might not be an artist. Most of your prospects aren't going to be artists. Yet they might have experienced that in their kitchen, right? So how do you use that? And then also you can be very specific. I gave you some of the common ones and you can be very specific. So maybe at Black Friday you have a sale. So your call to action might be very sales oriented. It might be click here to get your Black Friday discount, right? Might be something like that. Or it might be, order a full-size print now and you will get a free gift. I know my cousin is an artist and she's doing a lot of little miniatures lately. So, she could definitely do that call to action. If you order now, you will get a free gift. Click here to place your order and send out that little miniature with your big print as well. So again, you're going to, when you are doing marketing, when you are doing promotional marketing, you are going to use calls to action and use it in your relationship marketing as well so that you can build that give and take and have your prospects interacting with you like you're a human and not just a painting on a wall or a sculpture over on a stand. So that's number 2. And the final one I want to talk about today is actually, there's a little list of 3 and I'm going to focus in on one. I understand that these general marketing techniques include that I can create demand for my work by focusing on the end results instead of focusing on the features. So let's talk about the features of your work. So the features of your work might be, if you're a photographer, this is the type of package I have. You can get the disc or, download from online easily. That's a feature of one of your packages. It might be, if you're an artist, the size is a feature, the size of your work, or the materials that you made something with. Those are the features. And I think a lot of us, especially with the art gallery mentality, we list features, right? Here are the measurements. Here's how you can hang it in, so you can hang it in your living room, right? But we want to create demand because, again, people aren't walking through the world demanding art for their walls. It's a big complaint I hear from a lot of creatives is, oh, art's a luxury item. Well, that's because you're not creating demand for it. That's why it feels like a luxury item. So let's talk about how this is done a little bit. I'm going to go from something that's not art related to something a little more design related. So first of all, let's think of the Lazy Boy recliner. So the feature might be that it's leather and that it's electric and you can recline all the way to take a nap, right? Those are the features. The benefits might be that you can watch your favorite football game and not have that stiffness in your back when you're done. Or maybe it's that it is heated so that you stay warm on those cold winter nights, right? It's about the warmth. It's about not feeling achy. It's about maybe feeling cozy and comfy in your living room. Those are the end results rather than the features. It's what your prospect will experience when they buy that thing. So let's get a little more design oriented. I was watching Fixer Upper the other day with Chip and Joanna Gaines. And, I feel like really they have ushered in a lot of the style that we see nowadays in any home. And their tagline on their show is that they turn the worst house on the block into your dream home. So the result is the dream home, right? The benefits are that it's clean, modern, and farmhouse sort of aesthetic, very, very loosely, a modern farmhouse aesthetic. Those are some of the features of it. It might have shiplap. It probably has shiplap, right? If you know anything about the show. Those are features, but the result is it's your dream home. And if you've watched the show, another result is that it creates a family-focused space so that you can spend time with your family and feel great in that space with your family. Those are the results. Now, I work with artists who say, yeah, well, still, that's about a dream home. That's easier than my work, right? Well, what I would want you to do is to dive in, to use your creative out-of-the-box thinking to uncover the demand for your work. And maybe you'll even talk to people who have bought your work in the past and ask them what result they get from it. How does it make them feel? What experience do they have with it? Does it connect them to their past, to this beautiful nostalgic moment from their childhood? Or maybe it's a beautiful portrait of their pet, right? So that they can, every time they look at that painting, they see that unconditional love shining through their pet's eyes, and it just warms them up inside. That is a result. Or I worked with an artist earlier this year who did abstract, very colorful abstract work. And she basically said, my work doesn't go with that clean, modern, neutral aesthetic that the Gaines have brought forward, right? It doesn't go with that. And I said, well, why not? Why not? She's like, people are looking for neutrals. And I'm like, you're not creating the demand. Your result is that your piece, your modern abstract, colorful piece becomes the life of the room. It becomes this conversation piece. It brings vibrancy into the home. It brings energy. It brings warmth. It is like I said, the focal point or the conversation piece of your room. And what does that do for your prospect? So we worked on her marketing message from that angle so that, again, she is creating the demand for her work, no matter what the room is like, right? So those are the three things that I wanted to focus on from the top 10 marketing strategies checklist. Again, go to the Insider inbox, download this checklist, pick one, and focus there for 3 to 6 weeks. Now, I want one sort of warning here. I think just like we have the expectation that people will look at our work and just buy it instantly, we think that we start using more calls to action, that people are going to be interacting with us, engaging. If we start doing this, we're going to get instant results. And the truth is, I want you to always remember you are building a relationship. And relationships don't happen overnight. That's one of the reasons for focusing in on something for a while. So, don't feel disheartened if you put a new call to action and people aren't responding. Number one, people might not be seeing it. Number two, it takes a while to build that relationship. So get out there, begin practicing these things, noticing what is shifting in you even, and what is shifting in the people that you are talking to, and what is then shifting in your bottom line. So go download this resource, get started, pick one, get started, and let me know how you're doing. I would love to hear from you. If you're in my private Facebook group, The Abundant Artist Unleashed, I'd love to hear from you and see what technique what strategy you have picked and are trying online or in the real world. So thank you for watching. I hope this has been of service to you. And as always, get out there. Be who you are. Share more of you. Create those marketing relationships so that you can make more money. Get out there. The world needs your work, needs your creativity. So share your spark. Bye-bye.